Manqoba Mchunu, eNCA reporters following the story fast and joins us now. Manqoba, good morning to you. We understand that the family today is preparing, of course, to head to court to hear Ntuthuko Shoba's fate.
Well, indeed, Tumelo. In fact, we understand that in a few moments from now, the family will be holding a prayer this morning ahead of the judgment at the Johannesburg High Court this morning. Of course, it has been quite an anxious few years for the family, 2 years to be exact. They've been, through the courts, they've been following this matter very closely, and of course quite an emotional one for the family given the nature and the brutality that this death has surrounded. But of course today the family is hoping for justice, they are hoping for closure, perhaps a step towards closure. We do know that today a judgment will be given, but let's just get a sense just from the family, Tumelo, as to how they are feeling this morning. Of course, Tshegofatso Pule grew up here in this home. She had stayed her entire life, and the last time they really saw her alive here, she was leaving this very house, going to her boyfriend, Ntuthuko Shoba, on the 4th of June in 2020, and she never came back. A day later, they found that she had been killed. And in fact, even the way that they had found out, the family had found out about the death, they had found out through social media when they saw that horrific video that was posted there. So it has been quite a difficult time for the family. Let's find out, though, how they are feeling today. Tsepang, how are you feeling today? I know it must be very difficult for the family. It must be an anxious wait for today to hear the judgment.
My family and I are very anxious because we don't know what the verdict will be, but we're hoping that it is guilty because we believe that he literally did it. But obviously we will never know what would the judge say, but we just wish for the best for the family, and we're just going to hold on to each other and to the community that's actually supporting us, the media that's supporting us through these 2 years. But yeah, we just have to wait and see what actually happens. So yeah.
And what are you hoping for as a family? We
just want justice for Tshegofatso. We've been waiting for that because we didn't mourn her. Do you understand? So it's a thing of we just want to know, like, he just has to be in there so that we can even get peace in our hearts. Because right now we're still holding on what if he doesn't get, they say he's not guilty. We just want us to be happy as a family. Her birthday is coming up on the 10th of April. We also want to celebrate that happily, unlike last year. So yeah, that's what we're waiting for.
And again, you're going to come face to face with Ntuthuko Shoba. How has it been? I know it's been quite difficult at some points. The family was angered by, some of the actions when he reopened his case. It's been quite traumatic for you as a family having to go through this.
It's a thing of with Shoba, it's like he's not human. He acts as if Tshegofatso is still alive. Like, he changes his stories like crazy. So obviously with our family, we get angered as human beings, but we were told that not to react, but just to be us. But obviously when you get home, you're going to get angered. Did you just see on how you reacted? So it will provoke you. He provokes us. Hopefully today it won't be like that. We'll just look at him and see what ends up. But we just want to see him in jail.
Thank you for speaking to us and for sharing your experience with us. Well, Dumela, I'm just going to move quickly to one of the neighbors here who also was very fond of Tshegofatso Pule, who, she saw her growing in front of her eyes. Mama, as a neighbor, when ngiyazi ukuthi lo dabuthe beluphethe kabi kakhulu, niphathe kabi kakhulu njengomphakathi, nizizwa kanjani namhlanje ukuthi kuzophuma isinqumo senkantolo?
Sizizwa sijabulile ngoba ithathe isikhathi esikhulu kabi. Ayipheli. Why ingapheli ngoba uyazi lo muntu ukuthi uyenzile lento. Why ajikeleza isikhathi singaka 2 years yonke. Uyenzile already. Ungabe uyekile nje uTshegofatso wahlala wamyeka azikhulisela umntanakhe. Into esizwe sibuhlungu ngoba kuhamba imphefumulo eminingi 82. Manje isizwe sibuhlungu uTshegofatso bephila nabo makhela. Ube umntwana nje ohloniphayo. Ube mazi umuntu omdala ukuthi uyini. Ubengeka ngidlule nje angangibingelelanga.
Nazizwa kanjani mama ngosuku nithola indlela ehluku abulewe ngaso uTshegofatso njengomakhelwane nabantu abambonile khulu?
Hey sabo sezwa nje namanje bisingakabelieve ngoba lento isibuyisela emuva mayiloko remind isizwe sibuhlungu ngoba yonke lento la iphikayo lo mfana uyenzile uphikelana. Unabo ubufakazi obugcwele ukuthi uyo obulala uTshegofatso. ngabe nje uye kuTshegofatso wazikhulisela umntanakhe uTshegofatso waphila waqhubeka nempilo yakhe khona manje le ifamily ayithola ukuphumula nathi futhi abomakhelwana siphumula masiloko sinibona nje nivela kuvuka leya nto leyana ngathi manje khona iqala phansi ugovernment nje akadlela indima yakhe aye nje elokhuzeni ayidlala nje indima yakhe kubuyelwe entanjeni umuntu makenza into ebuhlungu kangaka naye akayizwe lento ebuhlungu le
nilindelene njengomakhelwane namhlanje enkantolo
silindele nje ukuthi ingaremindwa ayiqhube ayiphele namhlanje nathi sizokwazi ukuphumula emoyeni asiphumule
athole isinqumo senkantolo ufuna sithini ma athole necala noma engenacala nithini nina njengomakhelwane la
thina njengabomakhelwane sine unecala noma ngaliphika kodwa uyazi enhlizweni yakhe ukuthi uyenzile lento ugovernment nje akadlile indaba yakhe indima yakhe nje amgwebe kuphele naye ayokuzwa lento esizwile ebuhlungu
kade sachaza ukuthi uTshegofatso bekuyumntwana othule bekumntwana ohloniphayo baziya abanye abantu yini okukhumbula wena ngayo
yathi before azohamba uTshegofatso ngiyandlula la uyangibingelela uthi mama uphi nginomntwana udisable wangibuza wathi ukayisandla kiri sandla uteng are mara all right ngathi all right Tshegofatso wasuyahamba ke wathi okay mamzo ungitshelile ukuthi usandla all right ke right kanti after lapho sengizawuzwa lento ebuhlungu kangaka ngizange silale namanje asikaphumule emoyeni.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that with us. That was one of the neighbors here who was very fond of Tshegofatso Pule. She's just explaining how they've been, hurt as neighbors, how they've been devastated by what happened to Tshegofatso Pule, the way in which she died back in June 2020. She says that just a day before she died, she had seen Tshegofatso Pule asking about her disabled child. And that's the person that she was, somebody who was very loved by many, somebody who was very bubbly, somebody who was very respectful, somebody who really, really was adored by her neighbors and her community. And of course, her death sent shockwaves to many of the neighbors, many of the community members here who are also hoping for justice. Mama here saying that they hope that Ntuthuko Shoba will receive that guilty verdict today in court, and that the sentencing that will follow is that he should be given life imprisonment because of the brutality that surrounds the murder of Tshegofatso Pule. So we are starting to see some of the family members trickling in. They, of course, are inside right now, here preparing for that prayer that is going to take place here this morning, hoping that they are going to get justice, hoping for some sort of closure in this particular matter. But, of course, the family after that will be making its way to court. They'll be driving in a convoy. We are expecting to see also gender-based violence activists outside court who will be demonstrating. They're hoping and waiting with bated breath for that judgment this morning. But also we understand members of Operation Dudula will also be outside court, also to hear and support the family as they await the judgment today.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu, will be, of course, be crossing to you as soon as all other latest developments do occur in court. And, of course, I can imagine the family seeking that closure and justice today and are waiting for it in bated breath. Thank you for this, Manqoba Mchunu.